Yes guys, what's happening? Welcome back to Sean's World of Sports. I hope you're all well. So watching England recently has got me thinking, going back to the golden generation. Now depending on how old you are, you'll remember this quite well. But for me, growing up in like the mid 2000s, I was born in 95. This was very much perceived as England's golden generation. You had the likes of David Beckham, Gerrard, Lampard, Paul Scholes. Wayne Rooney was just coming into it then. You had Rio Ferdinand, Gary Neville, Ashley Cole, David James, and you know, they were really touted as the best England team since 1966 and the best chance for England to win a major tournament. Obviously that never happened, but watching England beat Belgium the other day with the players they've got and the young players as well, okay, they didn't play, but you've got obviously Phil Foden, Mason Greenwood to come in. You've got the likes of Marcus Rashford, he's still young. You know, all of those people. Mason Mount. And there's the perception that this England team will win the Euros next year. We'll have to wait and see on that one. But I think there's always been the expectation for the England team to win a major trophy. Obviously, they've not won one since 1966 World Cup. But every major tournament they go in, you think it's going to be England's year. You think, will we win this year? The World Cup in 2018, that was amazing, don't get me wrong. But I think England got a huge slice of luck with who got knocked out when and the sort of teams they handed to. Really, they should have won that semi-final and got to the final against France. But anyway, that goes a bit off track. But this England team right now, for me, okay, I was maybe only sort of 7, 8, 9, 10 when the Beckham team around mid 2005. I didn't really obviously anticipate how good they was then, but for me now, looking at the group of players we got to pick from, now there's no doubt about it. This England team has got much more pull, they've got much more talented players, and really there's no reason why they can't win a major tournament. You know, you've got players that aren't even getting in the squad. You know, okay, you may not think he's up to the standard, but you've got someone like Lewis Dunk at Brighton. You've got Tariq Lamptey in a year's time. Will he be on the fringes? Again, these players aren't looked at, but you've got other players at other clubs that could be pushing. You know, you've got James Maddison at Leicester. He's often overlooked. So there's definitely players there. I mean, Jack Grealish, well, that's another story what Southgate thinks about him. But there's definitely players there that can make you think, you know, this England squad's got real depth now. And the golden generation of back then, really, there wasn't really many backup players. Okay, maybe he brought in, Sven brought in Joe Cole, and then at the very start, Theo Walcott was emerging. But what I can remember, there wasn't the depth as what we got now, you know. As I mentioned, just in the midfield, you've got obviously Jordan Henderson, you've got Declan Rice, you've got Jack Grealish, you've got Mason Mount, the list goes on, James Maddison. You know, the list goes on, Eric Dyer if you use him as a midfielder. So there's the depth there, definitely. Up front, Harry Kane, then there's, I would say, that's the only really real area, the actual central striker, the number 9. Okay, Dominic Calvert-Lewin's doing okay at the moment, but really, after Harry Kane, it is a bit of a drop-off. I don't care what you say from the next player that comes in. But you've got players there, but are they at the same level? You know, you've got the likes of, as I say, Calvert-Lewin, Danny Ings. Then that's not really many after that, is there? But other positions, you know, the front three, well, the two wings, you've got Rashford, Sterling, Sancho, Mount, Grealish, you can play there. It's really looking promising. And, you know, I generally think England will have a good Euro 2020 next summer if it happens. I think it will. And I wouldn't go as far as say they'll win it, but I think that they'll definitely get to the final, you know. And I know that there's all pressure, always will be put on the England squad. We always think they're going to win the tournament. We always think they're the best team in there. But normally that's sort of blinded faith. But this time, I genuinely think there's reasons to be optimistic about England doing well. I keep going back to the golden generation of around 2002 to 2006, around that period. You had sort of like John Terry, Rio Ferdinand at the back, good solid central defenders. You had Ashley Cole left back, Gary Neville right back. The midfield, they was blessed for choice for midfield. I don't think they ever really had the best partnerships. They often played Lampard and Gerrard together, but there was the perception that they didn't get on. One player that was criminally underused for me was Paul Scholes. I think he probably was the best of the pick of the midfielders at the time. You know, at some points they picked Nicky Butt over him, or Owen Hargreaves, you know. So that says you what it was. But they were blessed for midfielders at the time. Wingers, I'm not so sure. Obviously David Beckham's a standout one. Then it was either sort of Joe Cole, or they put Emil Heskey on the wing. Wasn't really any blessed in those positions. And then up front, of course, it was mainly Michael Owen. And then later dates, Wayne Rooney. So that squad on paper was a good squad. But I think comparing it now to 2020, I think now it's safe to say that England's in a golden generation again. More so, I think a better standard, and I think they got better players. Because don't get me wrong, the players we got now are playing for the big teams. That England squad, the big teams back then, it was just Manchester United and Arsenal really. Liverpool was sort of lower, top half to mid-table, same with Chelsea. So there wasn't really the competitiveness in the Premiership that there is now, and I don't think enough of the players were playing for perceived big teams back then. You know, you would often get a few players coming from sort of bottom 3, bottom 4 Premier League teams back then. But now I think, you know, the players has just evolved over time. The players have got a lot better, the standards are a lot better, and they're playing with more and more the best players in the world now in the Premier League. So I think there's definitely reasons to be hopeful. Let me know your thoughts. Is this really England's now the golden generation, or was the squad back then better? Let me know in the comments below. I'm sure it'll be a good debate, and I'm sure it will provide maybe some light-hearted moments for you in a time like this. But anyway, it just got me thinking the other day, you know, when you look at the squad and look at the bench as well, as I say, players can't even get in the team at the moment that normally in years gone by would be first names on the England team sheet. Right, I'm going to go now because I'll start rambling, and that's not what we like to do here. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and smash the like if you enjoyed the video. If not, tell me why you didn't like it. Follow me on Twitter, I'll put my link below, that'd be much appreciated. Most importantly, don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well, and turn on the notifications so you can be notified when I upload videos. Funnily enough, that's what that does. Thanks for watching, stay safe, I shall see you next time.